If you are anything like me, you want to succeed at whatever you're going after out there. I know that's exactly what I set out to do, whether it be in business or in health or in relationship. I was determined every year. I was determined every time I tried something new. And yet, no matter how badly I wanted it, it always seemed to be elusive. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting what it was that I wanted. And I believed I deserved it on some level, until I finally figured it out. If you're having any kind of challenges like that for yourself, I've got some answers for you.
Hello everyone, and this is your faithful friend Sandra Graves, and thank you for watching EnvivoLIVE. Don't forget that if you're an expert in a particular area, I want to hear from you. I want you to share your story. I want you to share your voice right here on EnvivoLIVE. And if you want me to be the host of your event, also get in touch with me. info@envivoassociate.com. Again, that is info@envivoassociate.com. Whatever topic you want me to talk about, except politics. But I'm willing and I am able to talk about everything that you want to talk about. No politics. But don't forget to subscribe here on EnvivoLIVE. Bye-bye now. Hello, my people. This is your faithful friend, Sandra Graves. And I hope that today you are having a fantastic day, because today we have a great topic. And with a man that is like really patient, like last week, we have this crazy thing happening technology-wise, and he was so patient. Oh my God. I mean, like if I had him like right close to me right now, I give him a hug, I squeeze his bones and break it in my hug, because so thankful I am, because you know, most of you people are not patient. But today we are going to be talking to, he's a motivational speaker, a man that is making an impact in other people's life. And you know, a lot of us want to do that, but not all of us are doing that. And right now, that is what he wants to share with you. Some of the things that he have learned based on that topic today, redefining our vidas, lives. That's what we're going to be doing today. And his name is Robb Braun. Braun? Did I say that right? But I'm going to shut up so that he can say it the right way. Because you know I can chop up in people's name. But go ahead, Robb. It's all you.
Good evening. Sandra, I love your energy. I absolutely love your energy.
I am not trying.
I got it. You warned me though, so we're all good. We're all good. So my name is Robb Braun, and yeah, I'm thrilled to be here with you. And patience wasn't even a part of it. I understand that stuff goes on. So, you know, it changed my evening, and we just did something a little different. That's all good.
Well, I mean, like you, I mean, I have to call it patient, really, because we were just going crazy with the whole thing. But it was the perfect topic, because we were focusing, and this is the way we're doing things. And then I'm like, the topic is perfect. Redefining our lives. We got to think outside the box. So share with us more about that topic. What is this all about, redefining our lives?
Beautiful. Well, I'll say the last couple of decades has been about, for myself, really understanding myself in relationship to the rest of the planet and myself. As I was approaching 55 years old, you know, in our country that, hold on, as I was approaching 55 years old, I got the wonderful invitation to AARP, and that damn thing sat on my desk, and I'm staring at that thing, I'm going, so what does this thing mean? And where I was able to get to very quickly was I made a commitment to myself that I was going to redefine what turning 55 is, redefine what it looks like health-wise and romance-wise and business-wise and how I'm involved in my community, because I had a very different definition of what it looked like when I was younger. Yeah. And as I'm around my peers, you know, that as they're getting older and they're not slowing down, and there's a very different feel and look to what it is to be getting older. But that was the start of it, and it started leading to a lot of other very, very cool things, and I'll share with you tonight.
So, 55. That's your age?
56 now. Yeah.
You can't see my gray hair because I'm not dying, but I am pretty up there too. I'm going to be 49 this year.
Good age, good age.
So tell us more about this. How is it people need to be thinking about this redefining? Because a lot of people have difficulty with just that. What does it really mean to redefine?
Yeah. Well, the first part of it is, and this is, if you will, been my big discovery in life. Redefines it gave it a name, but what I've learned is that based on whatever my upbringing was, based on whatever influences were, there was a mindset that was not serving me, right? I was no different than so many other people. I had my bouts with self-doubt. I had my bouts with self-esteem. I had my own little voice that said, "Who do you think you are?" As I'm discovering. Yeah. And what I learned was that until I got real clear about the source of those messages, that, by the way, are all untrue.
Yes.
There was no way I could sit and listen to you, Sandra, all day long. I could go watch motivational seminars. I can read the best books. If those tapes are still playing in my head and those are still the beliefs that I've got, nothing will help me.
That's right.
So this was all about, for me, getting real and honest about, first of all, where those come from, and then countering it with the truth is about me. So, and that can be a difficult thing, because if I've been mired in self-doubt and who do I think I am, to suddenly dare to go, well, I actually believe I'm pretty capable, and I actually believe that I'm actually worthwhile or worthy or the right person for this. That was a hell of a shift, but it's also a very necessary one, because that's the truth. Yes. And whatever greatness that you and I are fixing to do on the planet or another human, we have got to be willing to own our greatness and be in the truth of ourselves if we're going to do great things out there.
You said the magic word, the greatness. A lot of people are afraid of that word. Oh, I can't be great because God is the only great one. That's why we can be great. Not that we are, but we can. We have so much awesome things inside of us, and we have to be able to live greatness. So, I mean, like, I just love what you said about that. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Sandra, we weren't put on this planet to be small, and a lot of very wise people have said it in more eloquent ways before me. We are here to be our fullest, most wonderful, greatest, most spectacular, talented version of ourselves. Right. We weren't here to be small. Right. And who knows what those talents or what that greatness leads to. For some folks, it may have impact on others. Some, it may have indirect impact on others. Yes. So for one person, it may be their great skill and their great ability, when they give themselves permission to, is to build beautiful homes or beautiful buildings. Yes. For the rest of us to be able to appreciate, admire, have that feel-good feel, whatever that is, we all bring a gift of some kind. Yes. And maybe it is to lead and help heal people. Maybe it is to build. Maybe it's to sing. Maybe it's to dance. Maybe it's to perform. Maybe it is to be the greatest parent on the planet that creates children that go off and do grand, beautiful things, whatever that is. But we're never going to get there. We're never going to be able to bring our beautiful gift if we've got messages inside that say, who do you think you are?
That's right. That's right. But you keep saying that message that says, who do you think you are? But how do you fight that? Because I know before, I am too tall. I am too skinny. I am too black. I am too loud. And all those things that I am so wonderful now, because I got to the point, but it wasn't easy. So how is it that you do that? How is it that you don't say, oh, I'm going to be I'm 55 years old. Yeah. Some people is like, I'm I'm 49 and I'm proud. Woman is like, I don't say my age because they're ashamed of their age. Come on.
Yeah.
So how do you work with that?
So first of all, I think it's important that we don't do it alone. I can be in the mirror all day long, but I'm going to get reflected back as all that negative crap that I've got going on in my head. So I've got to be able to be with other people who can see some of that in me. There has to be that. So it's not a gig that I do alone. But I think the way for all of us, you're right, it's difficult, but the difficulty isn't necessarily in being able to transition. It's just being honest with ourselves first. Yeah. Because on some level, it serves me to hold on to old negative beliefs about what I'm not capable of doing, because then I really don't have to take any responsibility for my life.
That's right. Because
then I get to hold on to a story. And so for me, I can say the story could be where I grew up. If I grew up poor, which we did, we lived in trailers. So I could use that and let that be my limiting belief. Yes. Or I could say, because I didn't get a certain kind of education, or maybe I'm not as smart as other people, or maybe I can say I'm getting too old now to learn how to do this, or fill in the blank, whatever that is. So I can hold on to those if I want to, but all they are going to do is be my excuse then for not having shown up. Yes. So the difficulty is daring to consider another possibility. I think that's the great struggle, is that if I'm so married to what I'm not capable of doing, I never have to work. Yeah. It's easy to stay in that. Yeah. It's easy to stay, woe is me, look what I have to. That's the easy part. Yes. I think the courageous part is, you know what? I actually am capable. Yeah. And if I am capable, then what do I need to do then? What action do I need to take? And whatever that is. And we can talk about what that work is. But so the transition is from owning that it's all untrue, right, and then being willing then to state what the truth is.
That's right. And like what, going back to the age thing, being that I'm 49 and I'm loud and all that stuff, but my body is working differently. So I am aging in some ways.
Sure.
And my brain is not working like it used to. So I have to make some adjustments and try to find out about the new me, the new version of myself, and work with what I have versus wallowing in self-pity, which I did. I can do this, I can do that, and really getting out of there and thinking, okay, what can I do with what I have, right?
Yep. And I appreciate you saying that, because there is a reality with age. There are things that change, and it is that adapting to change, and if you will, grieving the loss of what was, and then embracing where we're moving into. Yes. And there's a very real transition right there. And I certainly do remember, Sandra, the first couple of times, I remember having a word like on the tip. It was like it was there. I know the word, I've said it a million times, but I couldn't access it. And it's like, holy shit, my brain's working differently than it used to work. And I got scared. Yes. And what I had to do is I had to realize I'm changing, right? I am. Yes. And I had to get okay with that. Yes. And that's part of redefining then for all of us, just who I am with where I am at this time in my life.
Yes. And it is true, because that's scary. And we are talking about that. You are listening and you are not 49. This conversation is for you too, because when someone is transitioning from high school into college, now it's just like, I don't know that I'm ready, because I have a 19-year-old soon to be and a 26-year-old soon to be, and their transition is like my transition. And when you give into that fear, it just chokes you. Like you don't know what to do. And so don't think that we are just talking just because he's like 55, I'm 49. This is just not a conversation for old people, which we
right.
I mean, like, look at us, we don't look old, okay?
Yeah, and I so appreciate you saying that, because that ultimately is where all this work is going for me, is that was simply my state and where I was, that it really that really came to, I was able to really refine the thoughts and all that. And now it absolutely is applicable to anyone at any stage, especially when we talk after our break, is the social element and the get involved and make a difference element. That's where it really turns on for everybody.
That's right. So I'm really enjoying this conversation because it's really hitting home, not because I'm old. Okay. It's hitting home because it is the truth. Okay. So what we're going to do, we are going to take a break because I talk a lot and I need some water. And then when we come back, we're going to have more from motivational speaker, Robb Braun. Be back.
Do you want to expand your job skills and expertise? Are you looking for an opportunity to move up in your career? Is there a convenient online certification to help you achieve these goals? The answer to these questions all start at mitio.org. MITIO is the Medical Interpreting and Translating Institute Online, an accredited online diploma program that is designed to provide the workforce skills necessary to become a professional caliber medical interpreter. Finding the right fit for you in this online institute can lead to a progressive and successful career in the medical industry. Programs range from translating to medical and many more. Each 40-hour course is designed to be completed within 6 weeks. But what makes MITIO stand out above all other certifications of its kind? The fact that you can conveniently take courses online in the comfort of your own home, at the worksite, and at your own pace. With an 80% placement rate with an array of corporations, organizations, and medical facilities, MITIO has helped to change the lives of people all over the country. Boost your career in the right direction and expand your job skills with MITIO, the Medical Interpreting and Translating Institute Online. Inquire online, enroll online, and complete your certification online. For more information, visit mitio.org. Like us on Facebook, or contact us via phone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to EnvivoLIVE with your screaming host, Sandra Graves. Okay. But don't forget that if you would like to be a guest on this show, just send us an email to info@envivoassociate.com. And if you would like to be a sponsor, also send an email to the email that I just gave you, which is info@envivoassociate.com. But remember, we only accept sponsors we believe in. I mean, I'm very focused on that. So don't think that because you have a whole bunch of money, you're going to get me. It's all about encouraging people. What can you do for people? And if it can be helpful, like food, like messages, like all that kind of stuff, something useful. Okay, it's useful. But if you just think that I'm going to be like presenting anything here, please exit because I'm not interested. But anyway, with that said, I was just trying to be Sandra Graves. Let's get back to Robb Braun. And he's going to be talking to us more about redefining our goals. But don't forget, his website is at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to visit him, please visit his website. He is also on YouTube. Okay? He's on YouTube. I saw his videos on YouTube. I saw him there. So he's on YouTube. And Robb, are you also on Instagram?
I am on Instagram and on Facebook, and yeah.
Okay, so follow him. And he actually uses his name. So that's not complicated. Just follow him there. Okay.
Simple.
And I just had to get that in there, you know.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
So Sandra, here's where it all ultimately goes. And this is interesting. You know, you and I had a very informal conversation early on about kind of the state of our world right now and the things that are going on. Yeah. And ultimately, as I've been working with people, and I've been doing my own growth work for literally 20 plus years, working with individuals, working with corporations. I get a chance to go in and do training. What has become so important to me from an awareness place, and that is my social responsibility. Mm-hmm. Now, I can't go out there and be able to give and do what is needed if I don't have my own backyard fixed. That's where all this really goes to. So the reason I learn about what messes me up right here, what gets in the way, so I can reframe those messages, so I can get clean and clear about who it is that I am, and without apology, walk out into the world and just and be here in my gifts, what I'm here to do. What's become real apparent for me, and I've had an opportunity doing some men's work with an organization called the Mankind Project. One of the things that became just so apparent is that I had to take a look at, for me and my relationship to folks around me, my privilege. Mm-hmm. My privilege being a man, my privilege being white, my privilege being English speaking, my privilege having a few bucks in my pocket. Yep. And no part of this is about shame or blame or anything, just understanding that I get to walk about my world very differently than so many other folks do, yeah, because they don't have access to that same kind of privilege. So for me, reDefine ultimately for myself and for anybody who chooses to get involved is to help them get their own work done so that they can turn outside of themselves and look to see where they can be a contributor to righting so many of the social wrongs that are going on in our country today. Yeah. And it might have been a little covert before and folks might not have been real aware of what's going on. Yeah. It's impossible to avoid today. Right. There are so many injustices toward people of color, toward women, toward our LGBT community, toward folks who are foreign born, and we can just keep going down the list. And I believe that folks that look at and are like me have a responsibility to get involved, not take over, but support those good movements, get involved, having conversations with people who look like me to help them better understand their responsibility. So all of this ultimately is going to how important it is that each of us redefines our social responsibilities so that we can start coming together and looking to see what our part is. And this, it's not a judgment thing. And I had to do my own work, Sandra, around getting okay with me and not having my own message in my head going, who do I think I am? Like, why am I the person be doing this? And I had to just set that aside. That's a negative message that has no place right here. I feel it. I see a need for it. I believe that I have some of the language and the ability to be able to make those kind of connections without making people wrong, but also willing to speak the truth and to speak up and to learn. And I cannot tell you what an incredible learning couple of years now it's been for me in really understanding what it's like for other folks in our society and our culture.
I think one thing is that people forget is that a lot of people get respect with disagreements. And I can disagree with you on everything, but still respect you. And sure. I think that's where we are going, sure. is that we are disrespecting people because of whatever decision they make versus, understanding, hey, I don't have to think like you. I don't have to do things like you, but I have to respect you. And that is something that I'm clear with people. I don't care who you are, what you decide to do, is respect. And once you are able to pass that line of respect, I can actually be able to help you. Like, we have so much in common instead of focusing on what we don't have in common, right?
Absolutely, Sandra. And then what it also allows us to do is learn more about each other. Mm-hmm. So let's say you and I are on different sides of an issue. You have a belief, I have a belief.
Which I'm sure we do.
We will have plenty of them. Then what gets to happen, if there is a level of respect, what I get to say is, so Sandra, help me to understand why you do believe the way you do. Help me to understand. And I'm not. And
you might not understand by the time I finish, but okay. That's where the respect comes. Okay? I mean, like, I am a Christian. My husband is a Muslim. But we have been together forever, and I'm crazy about this man because I actually learned about respect. I don't have to agree with him. I don't agree with him, but I love him and I respect those differences. We don't have to do the same things. And that is what a lot of people don't understand. Is like, respect doesn't mean I agree with you. Respect means you have your own personality, your own thinking. That's just what it means.
And how wonderful that we can be so different. I wouldn't want you being like me. I wouldn't want you agreeing with everything. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want you to be you in your difference and all of what makes you you. And then what we do is we find out how we can walk together on the planet, and we can do that. Yeah. And valuing, not agreeing with, but valuing other folks' perspectives.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of what you and I talked about informally, how there was a whole lot of divide, and we got to stop that. Yeah. We just got to stop that. We got to stop feeding it. We have to, and I think there's enough of us that are having these beautiful conversations that are not conversations about coming to agreement, but conversations about coming to understandings of the differences.
Yeah.
And allowing us both to just walk in the same paths.
Yes, that's correct. So somebody that is having that struggle right now of going back to the conversation of redefining themselves, because they have certain beliefs, you know, that beliefs, you know, from they were little, and those beliefs are just destroying them from achieving the things that they want to achieve. What is one of their you know, first step that you think that they have to do? First of all, you actually said, you know, like looking at yourself, taking responsibility.
Got to look here, right?
Okay, that was one. And then after that, what?
Then after that is find someone that can help you work through that.
Right. That was
you find Sandra the coach, you find Robb the coach, you find a group. It doesn't matter where, but find someone who's if you will, got a plan and a pathway through that, because it's a tough one to do by yourself. Yeah. It's tough, and that's the biggest thing right there. So I think the first part is just acknowledging this isn't the life that I want to live. This hurts.
Yes.
I don't want to feel this.
Yes.
But I can't figure out how to get out of it. That's okay. Now find someone that I can connect with to help to sort me getting out of this, reframing that, helping to tell a different story, whatever that is. Yeah. But finding someone to connect with, you know, nobody gets there by themselves. No one does. Yeah. And I know my own path has been filled with wonderful mentors, formal and informal, people who are on the same path, people who are willing to hold me fiercely accountable to my own truth and wouldn't let me off the hook, because I didn't want that. I wanted to know what the truth was. Yeah. So when you and I, when we all surround ourselves with those kind of folks, we start getting it. We start getting a new message. We start reframing. And when we do, we can see ourselves a little differently.
Yeah. I mean, if you hang out with people that are like you ain't going to make much of a difference.
Nope.
You know? And mostly, you know, when you wallow in self-pity, you call that person up and it's like, oh, I am no good. I told you. I told you wasn't to do that before. I told you wasn't to go there. Oh, I feel so bad. You should feel bad because you did some bad things, you know. Like, don't call people like that, you know. You know they're going to put you down.
Absolutely, because they want you to stay down. Mm-hmm. Because misery loves company. Yeah. Because also, if I've got someone in my life who refuses to look at their own life and I start elevating my own life, I'm now a threat to them, and they'd like to see me fall back on my ass. Yes. So I may have to choose some new friends. I may have to choose some new circles. The reality is we are going to be the byproduct of the folks that we hang out with, and the folks that we listen to. And what we all need as another human being, when I'm saying I'm feeling crap about myself, I need my other human beings going, yeah, but I see greatness in you. And we're going to help you to work on that. Let me remind you how wonderful we are. And let me remind you how wonderful what you're doing is. And we may need that pickup sometimes, because none of us is perfect, but we've got to be able to have that. We cannot afford to have any negativity in our lives, any of it.
That's right. Totally agree with that. But since we got to the end of this program, let's just do the summary.
Yeah,
and the summary was look at yourself, right? And then the other one was find support, people that going to help you grow, not the mediocre people that you have around you. And then the third one was
is now to look outside myself, to look to see where I can start contributing to my community, to start helping to heal whatever's going on out there, and be a participant in that.
Yeah. So instead of trying to impress, try to make an impact, and it starts with you. That's right.
You got it.
So Rob, since we already said that, anything else you want to say to the audience before we disconnect?
You know, what I would say is, if any party you felt moved, whether it's you know what, you're feeling that pain right there, or you figured some things out and you're walking on a good path, and now it's time for you to start looking outside yourself. Do something with it. Don't sit idle with it. Don't walk away from this going, oh, that was a cool call. That was a great video. Do something with it. And if you're looking for resources, what I would say is, if anyone wants to connect with me on Facebook and you just use that word redefine, I'll know that you're on the show right here. You ask me, hey, what resources? I've got books, I've got groups, I've got all kinds of stuff. I will just give away. Anybody who's looking for resources out there, I got them. And you can have them, you can have them.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your patience and for putting up with me today. And thank you all for also putting up with me. Thank you. Blessings to all of you. Bye-bye now.